What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another high-quality foodie feature for you here on the channel. Cheaters Camp style. After hours over at Carl's Jr. to take a look at their latest burger promo, which admittedly is looking a little bit more traditional this time out. That's right, so stay tuned because the Sourdough Star is up next. Welcome to Peep This Out Reviews with Ian K.
Stay frosty.
Yes, sir, it's Flavor Lit by Fire once again here at Carl's Jr. as we go in their all-new Sourdough Star. And like I mentioned earlier, while this admittedly is a little bit more traditional this time out, I have to admit, this does look like a pretty decent-looking sourdough burger. It really presents pretty nicely. And judging by how buttery and toasted the sourdough bread looks itself here, I'm pretty excited to get into this one. So let's pop it and take a look underneath. And starting us off, it looks like we've got a healthy portion of their classic sauce mixed in with some caramelized onions. Definitely a lovely situation there. And as we pan down, it looks like we've got more of it. A very lovely situation, guys. There's a lot of that good stuff. And that's obviously in addition to the two nice bacon strips there, along with plenty of melted American cheese. And naturally, all of that is sitting on top of one of the main stars of the show, if not the star of the show besides the bread, the charbroiled beef patty itself. 100% pure beef, and I gotta say, it's covering this piece of sourdough pretty nicely. Underneath it, for added color as well as moisture, it looks like we've got a tomato slice as well as a nice piece of leaf lettuce and a little bit of mayo on the bottom there as well. But guys, again, it's all about the beef, it's all about the caramelized onions and that classic sauce for sure, along with that toasted sourdough. This is looking pretty dynamite. So let's not waste any more time on this one. Let's get into it. It's the all-new Sourdough Star here at Carl's Jr. Let's peep out this flavor. Oh yeah, gooey cheeseburger after hours, slathered with sauce and caramelized onions, guys. That's a recipe for some tasty goodness right there, on top of the toasted sourdough bread on top of it. Again, the presentation is pretty awesome, and the smell in my car right now, believe it or not, is screaming California classic to me. I reviewed that actually a while back here at Carl's Jr., kind of like their take on the In-N-Out Double Double. It was pretty much the same type of ingredients, but the classic sauce was very similar. So a little bit more relishy, a little bit more Thousand Islandy, but still, you've got a lot of caramelized onions on this, and that's adding to the overall aroma in general. Pretty banging. All right, let's get down to business. It's the all-new Sourdough Star here at Carl's Jr. Let's do it. Man, the bread is not toasted. I mean, it's flavorful, don't get me wrong, but this is only minutes old and it's already very, very soggy. But again, gooey in the cheese department, the flavor of that sauce is definitely shining through. This really is the same classic sauce from the classic burger that they have over here. But even still, the combination works amazingly well. Haven't really gotten into too much bacon yet. Let's keep going in. Oh yeah. Yeah, this sucker is super moist because of all that classic sauce. And again, it's giving me shades of Thousand Island dressing with a little bit of relish, and the caramelized onions are a major highlight with this one. And of course, with the mayo on the bottom, all that mixture together along with the tomato and the lettuce, it's very, very moist, but not crunchy at all. That's really the only downside. And of course, the beef patty itself, not super thick, but the flavor is on point, along with that bacon. Not bad. But on the real, this is really kind of reminding me, like I said, of that California classic. It's just got some different clothing. That's pretty much the only thing. And it's a single patty compared to double, which, side note, you can actually get this as a double as well. But guys, even still, the toastiness of the bread is non-existent. There is really nothing going on with this. It's very, very soft, but it looks like it's toasted. That's the only thing by appearances there. It definitely looks like it's got a little bit of crispness, a little bit of crunch. None of that whatsoever. Let's keep going in. The bacon is banging though. Yeah, you definitely can't fade the bacon on this whatsoever, and when you mix that in there with the caramelized onions, that is a lovely combination there. You got the smokiness, you've got the flavor of the onions themselves, the light sweetness, and of course that relish type of dressing on this one here with that classic sauce. That's what it kind of feels like, and you've got literally what feels like a very traditional type of sourdough burger. But even still, guys, very, very nice in the meat department. I just wish it was just a little bit toastier in the sourdough department. You know, now that I'm getting further into this, I'm kind of glad I didn't do the double, because considering the width of this patty, I mean, it's a pretty large sandwich, guys. I mean, as you can probably see here, it is definitely very, very wide. I think it's got just the perfect amount of meat considering the type of toppings that are on here. There's nothing that really kind of overpowers the other, and it's a pretty even mix across the board. And as you can see, plenty of that beefy goodness to go around. But again, I just wish the bread was toasted just a little bit more. But even still, plenty of that classic sauce. Those onions are pretty banging as well, and the combination works extremely well, as you'd expect it to, because guys, this is their latest promo. I think somebody approved this, right? All right, so let's go for one more bite on this one. We'll wrap this review up after the rating coming up. But guys, again, I really wish it was just a little bit toastier on the bread, but even still, it's super flavorful, super moist, and definitely fun to check out after hours. One more bite and we'll close it up. All right, so let's go around the world with this one here. And I took off the burger diaper because it really needs one, considering all the mayo and everything else on this one falling out the back, literally. I'm going to be very careful as we go around. Very lovely situation with that char grilled beef. It definitely is a signature over here at Carl's. And with everything else that you're seeing here, as you can see, it presents very, very nicely. All the condiments on the top work very well. And again, the moisture is off the chart with this one. But even still, like I said, the showcase on this is easily going to be the beef along with that bacon, the caramelized onions, and that classic sauce. It is really a nice combination, if only it was actually toasted sourdough. That's the only thing. So with that said, I'm going to have to give the all-new sourdough star here at Carl's Jr. a pretty solid 8.8 out of 10. Guys, it loses a couple of points for the obvious reason that I've said all throughout the review. The bread is just not toasted. It's nice quality of the sourdough in general, and the size is good, but it's not crunchy, it's not crispy, and for something that's only a few minutes old, that's pretty inexcusable. There needs to be a little bit more crunch with that. It would complement all the other wet flavors together so beautifully if you can actually bite into it and feel the crunch, and naturally you dovetail into all those flavors there. But even still, that classic sauce is banging, all the onions on that, there's plenty of the good stuff, and even with 2 strips of bacon, it still delivers some pretty awesome smoky flavor on top of the flavor of the beef. Banging stuff. All right, so I've got one simple question for you. Considering the bread is the main thing with this one, in addition to all the other condiments naturally, what is your favorite type of hamburger bun? Is it a brioche? Is it a standard burger bun? Is it sourdough? What do you prefer personally? Drop those comments down below and definitely let me know. And with that, this is Ian K closing out another high-quality foodie feature for you here on Peep This Out Reviews, Cheaters Cam style, after hours, bringing you brand new content every single week here on my channel. So why stay tuned for the next review coming real soon. In the meantime, stay frosty. Flavor lit by fire, no doubt, Carl's Jr., but this time out, I was looking for a little crunchy flavor lit by fire. I mean, it's toasted sourdough. There should be some crunch. I mean, come on. All right, guys, until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Hey, thanks for checking out another one of my reviews. But just in case you didn't see the one before this one, you can find it right up over here, along with what I think YouTube's going to recommend for you to check out as well. As always, I think you'll find something to like in both of them, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one. See ya.